Let's clear this out, lads. Don't let it just well. We cover the rear here as well. Got Grenadier Guards. Look, oh, that's a wonderful shot. It's really easy to go real pasting there. Oh, they destroyed that entire regiment. Greetings and welcome to episode 188 of my Empire Total War Darth Mod USA campaign. This, my friends, heard of it last time. I'd like to first thank you for all for your wonderful advice, my friends. The council has once again given some wonderful advice, particularly here where our battle against the Spanish really has fired on all cylinders, to say the least, my friends. They've thrown absolutely everything in Canada's here. As you can see, we have given them a sound thrashing here, but they've also, we mustn't put rose-tinted glasses on here, have also given us a sound thrashing also. Although our losses are not as heavy as the Spanish, it's still considerable. We don't have much depth here. There's a very thin line here holding the sort of the front lines here. Spanish still able to send in a significant number of troops against us, but we have managed to push them back here with significant casualties. We even took our very first city or town here, Strasbourg. That's been captured now. We're going to start moving in forces into the region here, because of course we've now controlled the bridge. But we have taken a number of casualties ourselves. As the council rightly pointed out, Mallow, you need to get your armies up and running. You need to get more reinforcements into the front line here, because it really is a war of attrition. There's no other word for it. So I think what we're going to do is replenish this here. I think we'll start feeding reinforcements in here. We've got to deal with these two Spanish armies. The council saying we've got to deal with these gentlemen as quickly as possible. They are bringing some 24 pounders in here as well. Mostly just conscripts have pushed through here. This army though is a little bit better here. Republican Guard, some 12 pounders, 24 pounder here, 24 pounder there as well. Some cavalry as well, but not of the finest quality. But this still will give us some problems here. This army here, they've managed to push them back. They've thrown everything they can at us here. We've managed to hold. We have managed to hold here, but at a considerable loss. It really has been a brutal fight. But we are starting to bring these up to full strength here quite quickly. But these armies behind the lines here have taken the brunt. Look at that. Absolutely extraordinary losses. It really has been brutal fighting here behind the lines. We've managed to hold here for the meantime. And although we've got, there's quite a lot of few casualties here, as you can see, but the rest of this army is not too bad at all. We've also thankfully managed to keep this army intact here. This army here though has taken some losses, but not much. As you can see, most of these will take just a few weeks to being brought back up to full strength. These armies here haven't been touched at all, but I think the main fighting is going to be probably around here. We've got to really grasp the nettle here. Look at this. Look at the fighting along here outside Stuttgart. It's been brutal. Again here, look at that. Look at the losses here on these armies that were sent in. I think actually it's not too bad here at all. This army's not too bad. I think we need to reinforce here as quickly as possible. I think to that end, we might send in this force here. Very powerful force indeed, but I think we'll send them in here. Gentlemen, we're taking a gamble here because we've got these forces moving in here, but we'll just pop this army into here. Or we're hoping to put this army into here, and I think we can probably reinforce it. 4 lots of cuirassiers. We probably need some more infantry more than we. First of all, let's get them up and running here, and then I think some more 24 pounder foot artillery. The artillery really has been the linchpin of our defence here. Now, also further eastwards here, as you can see, we've got this army here that was involved in fighting, but this has not been repaired here. This cloth mill, which we have now dealt with, got an imam here. I think probably doing some spying here as well. But we've also, as you can see here, look at these forces here we've got. We've completely forgotten almost about the battle we're still waging here against the Germans, trying to claim the last of the Balkans from them. We've got this army here that was involved in some fighting on the river here. And also these armies as well need to be brought at full strength. Again, the losses have been absolutely frightening. And also here in Belgrade, this army again, not too bad. Not too bad at all, but we do have these armies here. We could push in and probably take Moldavia here from the Germans, which we might actually do here, and just solidify our flank here, and just effectively surround what's left of the Germans here, down here in the Balkans. And also look at this. This is going to be a titanic battle. Even though you see many of these forces aren't in the finest condition in terms of the numbers, it's going to still be an absolute brutal battle for us. And this is why we haven't been able to commit against the Spanish in any great depth, because of this here. Because we've just earmarked these forces, very powerful forces indeed. Earmarked to take Istanbul, which we're hoping to do maybe next episode. That battle might take place, but we've also got to clear these two armies here, as I said, with Spain that have broken through. Got to be careful here. So what we might do is we've got these three armies here. This army group, we might move these towards the west. But I think we'll try and do here, because we've secured this here now. And also here as well. We've got the bridge under our control. This army here, when it's replenished, again more casualties have been taken here. We could probably move against what's the remnants of this German force here. We've got a German force here we've got to deal with in Vistula. We could probably do so with this army here. It's more than enough to deal with this. We've also got an army group here waiting to see. We've got to clear the Germans up here. We've got tied down so many forces. The council also recommending that we move some of these forces here out. Look at that, we've even got the ship loaded up ready to move here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take some of these forces and we're going to start putting them into the front line here, directly into the line, because we don't need these here. They're just sat around idling. We need them on against the Spanish. Now, I did sort of mute the option of maybe going against Paris, but the council firmly said no, Mel, do not go against Paris. It'd be far better for us to sort of reinforce the front lines here. Maybe even go against Italy here, taking Italy, maybe because we're at war with Naples here. But again, the journey here and the resources it would take to move here, I think those forces would be far better put in reinforcing this front line here. Because look, so the Spanish are moving up forces. Are they starting to? No, look at the forces they got down here as well in Spain itself. The Spanish are nowhere near done yet, even though we've cut off their income here and here as well. They've still got this income here. Or have they? No, they don't. And mind, our income is extraordinary. It really is. Spain's got nothing coming in, but they must be keeping going somehow, because they're managing to keep all of these forces at full strength as well. And here, look at this. They've more than controlled the Gibraltar Straits, and they've got more than the forces here. Good grief. But the battle up here, I think we need to reinforce these lines. We're going to take forces from Russia, or St. Petersburg, from the Russian front, and we're going to move them down into the west. Now, this is going to be quite the operation here. Let's just start this. Now, we do control all the Baltic. There's no way anything's going to get into the Baltic against us here. So, I think what we can do now is start landing forces here, which we definitely need here without a shadow of a doubt, my friends. There's the first army has landed from St. Petersburg. Now we shall load up another one here. Prepare to embark, gentlemen. Let's pick up some. Look at that. That's an excellent, a highly experienced army here.
Sir. Yes.
Ooh, look at that. There's got some Marines in it as well. I think we'll send this force for definite. We need the experience here. This army has been in a few fights. So let's just start using these fleet we've brought up here specifically to move them into position.
At the ready. Anything more?
Again, we'll just tidy up some of our armies, I think, here. Spain is getting money from here, so we might have to raid this trade line here. We've got this navy here, but I'm not sure why it's not at full. Why haven't we made it at full capacity here? It's a little bit strange. Ah, there it is. Let's get things organised here. Let's get ourselves back on a front foot here in terms of our organisation, because it has been dire I'm the first to admit it, my friends. There's another. This fleet exposed out here is not any good because we've got this. Actually, the Persians here can be dealt with, but I think we're definitely going to put more for. Oh, look at that. There it is. There it is. That's a beautiful sight. I think we might just blockade the start here. We might actually hit the Spanish here as well. Because they've got income coming from here, which we do need to deal with. So I think we will. Hit them here. Perfect. We don't hit our allies, but what we want to do is we hit the enemy. We've also set up a very powerful fleet here in the sort of the gateway between the North Sea and the Baltic, which is exactly what we want. Now, do we have any other ships here? Indeed, sir. Which will also be joining this fleet. Now, that's a powerful fleet here to guard the entrance here. That's much more like it. Look at that. We can also protect this sort of the northern sea here. We've also got a fleet in here. Yes, look at that. Complete control here. We've cut off their, or vastly reduced their income here at least, and here. So Courland starting to apply some economical pressure as the council has requested. Now let's bring in some more armies here. We've got 2 armies landed here ready to support the west. We won't completely evacuate all of these forces from. Actually, we probably can because we've got an army group here that's more than enough to hold. So we'll probably use all of these forces to reinforce our front line here in the west. Got to do this in stages here, my friends, because things can be a little bit. Our income is not too bad along this flank here. There it is. That's an army group landed. That's a wonder to see. It really is. If I'm not mistaken, this is also another. Yes, indeed. Let's bring these gentlemen out to here to really crack. Oh, look at that. We're hurting ourselves here. Let's just make sure, see what happens. 59, yeah, we are hurting ourselves there. So what we don't want to do is that. We don't want to give them more money because look at that, down to 13. That's more like it. I think we'll get another force into here. We'll probably land some more forces here in Denmark, and they can be moved down into the area. Let's do this by the number here. Oh. These forces here, they're being replenished. Look at that. It's extraordinary the amount of fighting that's gone on down here. It really has. This is going to be probably just a reorganisation episode, my friends, this particular time, because we just want to get things nice and dealt with, so that. Come on, gentlemen, please. Thank you. Things are operating at maximum capacity here. That means just smoothing out some of the creases we've got in here now. Because of the fighting, we sort of let things go, as it were, a little bit. Let's land some in Denmark, just to so they can come across the bridge here. Support. And the same again here. We are committing quite a number of our reserves here into this. Because it's not. We really are throwing everything we can at this Spanish battle. That's more like it. We'll pull this fleet back out, probably into more into the Baltic Sea, so it doesn't get ambushed by anybody. So what we don't want. And that is the last of this So that's effectively 2 army groups have now been moved. Yes, 2 army groups have now been moved to the west from the Russian front, as it were. So I don't think we can probably move in additional forces, but at the moment, let's put these gentlemen here. Let's pull them back into the Baltic Sea just for added protection. I think we'll just put them in here for the meantime, in Visby, out of harm's way. We've got here, I think we're also going to up our recruitment capacity here. Let's get another army, some more armies in the field here, which is what we desperately need, to be honest with you, because the Council have asked us to reinforce significantly, which we have done here. 2 army groups now moving into this sector here of the front lines, but it's going to be a tough battle to break these lines. We will hopefully maybe head for Amsterdam, but we're going to have to break through several layers of Spanish defence here. That includes this here on Cologne, which is quite heavily defended. We've got our first bridgehead here in Spanish territory, but we want to expand it. We can't expand it at the cost of the front lines. This needs to be replenished here, I believe. Indeed. Oh gosh, yeah, look at that. Make sure everything is being absolutely replenished and repaired. Indeed it is. And again, we need to yes, let's increase. That is there, that's fine. Let's use these monstrous production facilities we have here, this sort of spine we have here of production facilities. Let's get them really ramped up here. Let's have a look what we've got here. Some more cavalry and some more infantry to start with, and some more cuirassiers, heavy cavalry. Now, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, they've still got a regiment of horse here, which we will disband and bring another cuirassier unit in here. Now, is there anything else we're missing here at all? We've got these gentlemen here. We're going to deal with everything here. Seems compact. We've got these loitering about behind the lines, which we'll probably deal with. I'd like to try and deal with this force here if possible, but this one I think we'll deal with next. But also these. But this is going to take a much more. We've got these 2 forces, these 2 armies. Look at that army there, though. It's absolutely been butchered here. Good grief, these armies have taken a frightening amount of damage. They really have. Right, let's get this production going up here now. We've got 4 cuirassiers. We also need a general. It's going to need a general as well. We're going to go onto a huge recruitment drive here. And also here I bet you bottom dollar they're going to head for Dresden. You can bet your bottom dollar they are. Even these gentlemen were dragged into fighting. Look at that. Right, let's get ourselves another general here. Some more cavalry. And some additional. It's going to pay havoc up on our income here, but at the moment our tax income is just about paying for this, and our trade income is just about paying for the naval upkeep here. We're not doing too bad considering the pressures on our system here in terms of the military. We could probably pull this force as well away and move it down into here as well. What do you want to do? We don't want to be caught by tall on the hop. Recruitment did not take place here for some reason. Why not, sir?
Ready and waiting.
Some more infantry here. Oh, wait a minute. What we'll do is we'll take this gentleman and add him to here. Now that's at full capacity here in terms of cavalry. We're going to need some additional 24 pounders a foot, 3 of those. And what else do we need here? more line infantry without a shadow of a doubt. Do we have any capacity here for... I think some light infantry would also go well here. That's absolutely fine. The same I think for Warsaw. Vilnius, these troops are fine here. Warsaw is okay for the moment as well. That's under threat. Königsberg, that's okay as well, but I just want to keep an eye on things here. We've got Sweden up here as well. Here, I think I'm going to go through here, make sure everything is at full capacity here. We've not missed a single thing. These are still replenishing. You have the fighting down here, which we did manage to achieve. Look at that. What's this army like here? That's not too bad at all. But we've got Vienna. Nothing from Hungary. That's being repaired and replenished. These forces could probably move against Moldova, which I think we'll probably do. Or we might, I think, at the end of this episode here, I think what we'll do is we'll strike against the Ottomans, because these forces need to be freed up. Because I think ultimately what we might do is move against Spain, against Italy, I beg your pardon, and maybe take Italy and move in towards these very strongly defended Spanish enclaves here. What's the armies like here? Yeah, these are powerful force. My goodness me, that's a powerful force there. And there. And there as well, goodness me. Yeah, I think we have to do that, I think, friends. I think we might have to do that against Istanbul. We're at war, no, we're at peace with Venice for now, at least. But I think preparations against... We've hit these gentlemen here as well. They're not going to get no income is coming in from here to them at all. Not even overland, I don't believe. I think we've cut off the overland route. Yeah, we have. So I think this battle here is going to take place next episode. Can we move them into a position? We can indeed. We can also move against Moldova as well. We're just going through our what we've got here, our resources, our empire, to see what we can and can't be done. Now, the Persians are okay with us. The Ottomans have got Tbilisi here, which we can move against, but they've also actually we're peace with Dagestan, so we could take this as well. That's a good fort. Not the best cavalry in the world, but still.
Ready and awaiting orders.
We are at peace with Persia. Got to keep an eye on things here as well. We can get some cuirassiers, which I think we're going to start putting another some more forces into place here. But we can't get any line infantry, which is an absolute shame. What about here from Esfahan? No, still not decent line infantry at all. That's been our problem. I wonder why not. But we could from here. I wonder if we dismantle this. And put our own into place just as a... I wonder if we test that out. Because these are Persian buildings, see. I'm not sure if we dismantle this, that'll give us... No, because it'll give us that anyway. That's very, very odd. I wonder why that is. Oh, look at this. I wonder if do we keep this up here? It's not good at all there, is it? Let's be honest, the growth here is not good at all. We've got a decent control here only because of the forces we've got surrounded, but we can't move against... I like to move against these, but that's going to take much more than we've got here. That means moving more forces into the area. My goodness me, we really are stretched here. And also we've got the Barbary states are going to start harassing us here. Let's just move these gentlemen around. That's more like it. I don't think so. They're going to be harassing us for a long time, but we've got a good cavalry force here. So that will definitely aid us, but excuse me my friends, I think this army here can deal with most of the Barbary states, to be honest with you. We have lost the income from this here as well. Again, we don't have the forces to deal with it. I wonder if we can... Again, we can't. We just don't have the line infantry at all. That means moving more forces in. I wonder if we can move this force down to help in Egypt. That's why we need this here. I think what we will do is we'll use...
Aye, sir. Ships, orders received.
I think we'll send this fleet, I think we'll send this army down here to start dealing with these forces here. I think we'll land by here and come at them from a different angle and start taking... Look at this army's more than enough to deal with any of the Barbary states. Look at that. Very combat experienced here, these gentlemen are. They've been through a few fights. Let's just bring this army into position here. Come on to this fleet here.
Sir. Waiting further order.
Well, just come on. We'll flank them here if possible.
Heave away, boys. Heave away. Ships setting up.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Where to, Captain?
I think we will stay in position here, just in location.
Jump to it and look
Make sure we're not going to be hit, but I think we'll use this army here to start rolling up these Barbary states. Got a lot of cannons, that's going to be a big problem for us. But I think we're going to start rolling these gentlemen up here and clearing Egypt. It's about time we did that. Getting ourselves more on the front foot. We've had to keep these gentlemen, Italian states, and Naples, well under our control, because if they'd have been able to attack us, which they were at war with us, been at war with from the start, I think we'd have had a lot of problems. But thankfully, because we've blockaded the entire region here, I know they've got money travelling back and forth between here, which has kept them afloat. But as you can see, they have suffered quite heavy casualties here. Yeah, clamour for reform is... Oh, look at that. There's going to be a few rebellions. Look at that. No tax. Just so they don't have any rebellions. Wow. I wanted to deal with this either, but again, the growth here is pretty small. 86. But thankfully we've moved these additional units and armies into here. Now 2 army groups to be moved in to deal with the Spanish, or at least contain them. And I think, my friends, I'm going to end this episode here, but that before we do it, I think what we're going to do is we're going to launch our assault against the Ottomans.
at the ready.
Now, the forces we've got to choose here are critical. Let's just move this gentleman. I think this force is going to lead the assault here. There's General Ponti.
Sir. Sir.
Yeah, because remember, once we attack, we've got to make sure they're all together, so they all support one another.
At the ready. Make ready.
So we've got to make sure.
Ready for order. Make ready. Sir. By the land.
There it is. There it is. We've done it. We have thankfully now started this operation. Now it's not too bad. We've got nearly 20,000 men supporting this operation. 3,200 going in. This is the lead army here. What have they got here? This is not all of them. This is just what you can see here, I believe. What is this? There's 4 armies, yes. So it's probably these gentlemen and one other. So there's not all the Ottoman forces, but what it will do is drag a great deal of them in. But as you can see, they're not at full strength at all, but they do have some very good units here indeed. This will not be a walkover by any means. Now, it's critical we select... Oh, look at that. We select which army we want to come in. I think this army here would be the army we want coming in here. I think we got yeah, because it's going to be fought in the open, so we want cavalry coming in here first. We don't have it up at full strength. We need to retrofit some of these, but that's for another time. Let's bring these gentlemen down here. The artillery. And let's bring the grenadiers in. Then we'll have the fusiliers. Then we'll have our experienced regiments coming here of line infantry. Perfect, look at that. A good force there. Oh, look at that, we've got Continental Marines, wonderful. Again, cavalry first coming in just to add that mobility. Then we'll have, oh wait a minute. Cavalry, and then we'll have Marines, our combat hardened line infantry, which has seen quite a lot of fighting, as you can see here. So experienced, these armies are so experienced. They've been fighting in Russia, Germany, France, and now they are here as well. Middle East, Persia, they've been fighting Persia as well, all these forces. They've been everywhere. What else do we have here? Oh, look at that, that's packed full of fire support. So is this army here. They've also got grenadiers as well. I think this army would be next, I think. Yeah. I think these armies should be enough, but we're not going to take any chances here. Let's make sure that everything is absolutely done properly here. By the book. And I think we can bring in our... Perfect. Now, this doesn't always work out, because what happens is, for some reason, they'll send the cavalry and then the artillery will come in after it. Even if you put the artillery down here as the last to come in, these would come in after the cavalry, which I'm not sure why that is, but it happens not always, but sometimes. This army, I think we'll put on the... Yeah, let's bring in always cavalry first, because it gives you that immediate time to hit the enemy if they're overrunning you. You can use the cavalry to hit them from behind or to flank them. And again, really important that we have our infantry coming in here. As you can see, all of them are veterans. They've been have been through the mill, these armies. This hasn't got any cavalry in here at all in it, so we can bring these gentlemen as is pretty much, apart from this. And thus, the same again here, the cavalry coming in first. Then the line infantry. I think then that is pretty much it for us, I think, here. Yep. Again, absolutely looking ship shape here. Ah, look at how Carassi is. Look how much cavalry we've got. Bring in our infantry. Beautiful, look at that. That's a beautiful sight. But this really is the army that's going to take the first punch at the Ottomans here. Oh, look at that. They've got Sapias here. They're absolutely monsters in the charge. And they've got those 20. The one thing you have to give the Ottomans is their artillery is superlative. It really is. Surprised I haven't got any of the heavies. There's heavy guns here. The 64 pounders, which are absolute monsters, but still going to be a very tough fight for us. But this, my friends, is the battle we're going to have next episode. Finally, we're bringing the battle for Constantinople to a conclusion, hopefully, or at least the start of it. I know the council have been calling for us to do this and take this battle for a long time. We have been in situ here for many, many years. We're just holding on, but the situation against Spain is now, and probably against Germany, we probably could use these forces then to move and push up against Germany and finally remove them from the Balkans once and for all. So the situation now is that we need to free up these forces. We've tied down a significant portion of, especially our most powerful troops here in Istanbul and in the Ottoman Empire, as it were, the remains of it at least. We've also got in Persia our Marine Corps, which is defending Isfahan. Now we have to make the decision whether we move additional troops into there to take on the Afghans, because the Afghans, although not as powerful as us, have a huge amount of forces, absolutely incredible amounts. So we might have to move some of these gentlemen into that as well to help move against the Afghans. And then there's also the Mughal Empire, which we're also at war with. How we get the troops into that, I don't know, but that's a problem for another day. this is going to be the next battle, my friends. I hope you've enjoyed it. Haven't no action, but we've just been tidying up things here, getting ourselves organised, moving additional troops in for the next phase of battle against the Spanish, but also hopefully bringing Istanbul under our control, and finally taking what has been a really one of our main targets for a long time under our control. It'll also give us the ability, as I said, to move from 2-3 directions here, from the west, then from the south, and then eventually sort of from the north here, wrap around, take Moldavia. We'll use the forces that weren't used in the battle here, push against them here as well, and also from here against Sofia, and finally ridding ourselves of any influence of the Germans in this region. But my friends, hope you've enjoyed this episode. As always, thank you for wonderful support and advice. Please keep that coming, my friends. It has been absolutely exceptional. It really has driven this campaign to where it is. We're slowly pushing on 200 episodes, which is just, just is absolutely fantastic. It really is. But anyway, thank you for all of your wonderful support. Sorry for the slow release of the videos, my friends, but very busy behind the scenes. Anyway, whatever you do, my friends, as always, please be safe. But until next time, bye for now.